Hey y'all, so I wanted to expand on two concepts today. I wanted to talk about the term whiteness and then I wanted to talk about the term white supremacy. So, the way that I interpret and expand on the concept of whiteness is I'm naming it as a system that centers European ancestry, right? And it's a system or it's a propaganda campaign, right? That really actually created a racial hierarchy that places those of European ancestry at the top and everybody else kind of below, right? It is the system that created our social construct of race. And it was largely based on the dehumanization of African people, okay? All right, full stop. Then there's white supremacy. And white supremacy is the delusion, aka, shout out to Sonya Renee Taylor, of the supposed superiority of those folks with European ancestry. The idea that they are morally, physically, spiritually, all the things better than everybody else, particularly people of the global majority, okay? And so while those things are very much connected, I think that we really have to spend time understanding that there are also like some uh some differences, right? So I always tell people as a black woman, I've never been invested in the superiority of white folks, never believed in it, but I have been invested in whiteness, right? And I also think this is important because I want to talk about a direct impact that I experience every day, right? Especially doing justice related work. I realized that there needed to be an understanding of white supremacy culture. It needed to be normalized so that all types of people can see how they fit when it comes to being racist, when it comes to being xenophobic. I think a lot of people thought that white supremacy only showed itself up in the Ku Klux Klan, yes? So I understand why that had to be normalized. But I want to talk about a negative impact today, right? I never spent a lot of time really thinking about what it meant to be a black person watching lynching. And then thankfully, a few years back, I read Mia Banks' book entitled To Tell the Truth Freely, which was really a book all about Ida B. Wells, who was a black woman who was a journalist who was reporting on lynching at the time it happened. And so, I just want to say this that every time I see that term white supremacy, I am thinking about black folks hanging from trees. And I think that in some ways that term has become so trendy that people forget that people like me can have a visceral reaction to it. And so I just want to remind people that for me, as a descendant of enslaved folks, that word carries with it a lot. Be thoughtful.